What is happening, my friends? Welcome to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show. I am your guy, Arrington Gavin. Thank you for joining your go to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day. Whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or even the latest buzz, look, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. All right, my friends. On today's conversation, we're going to finish speaking about the whole conflict of uh, President Biden pardoning um, his son and why so many individuals have an issue with that. People, even in his own party, that has an issue with it. We've spoken a lot on it on the. We've spoken a lot about it on our last show, but to go into more details and have more examples, we've heard from folks on the left saying, hey, he should consider pardoning this individual or that individual. People on the right have their names that they should pardon as well. We're going to talk about it here on the program. Also, uh Daniel Penny, the gentleman who previously served in I want to say in the army, but don't get me a matter of fact, he was a gentleman that was arrested for taking the life of a gentleman on a subway who he said was threatening every single person on that train. So it was a whole conflict. Is he a hero or is he a criminal? Hero, criminal. This incident happened so a good while ago. He's been in jail for the time being, and recently the jury was found unable to come to a unanimous vote in the manslaughter charge that was brought against Mr. Penny. So we'll talk a little more about that. Known figures like pro golfer Phil Mickelson praises Daniel Penny for protecting subway passengers. A lot of folks are saying that he should be locked up, and then a lot of folks are also saying that he was innocent and he's a hero. So we'll talk a little more on that as well. And check this out: Black GOP members feel excluded from Trump's second term cabinet picks. I wonder why. So, of course, we'll talk a little bit more in the show. And moving on to sports, Bill Belichick, that winning NFL coach that for years was leading the charge of creating a dynasty in New England, New England Patriots. It was helped led by his star quarterback Tom Brady, and since he left New England, because let's be honest, when Brady left, there was no the era was gone really in New England. So instead of him getting fired, Bill Belichick left, and they parted ways. Mutually parted ways, and he's been doing mostly commentating from time to time, analyst work. But he could be heading back to coaching, but this time not in the NFL. This time he could be heading to college. Guess what school he's going to be potentially leading the way. So we'll talk a little more about that, and then we'll have a little more other stuff we'll talk about here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Of course, I got to bring on Arrington's movie review because I recently saw Gladiator 2. I enjoyed it. I wonder if you haven't seen, or if you have seen it, what's your thoughts on it? What's your take? What's your grade you would give the film? So I'll speak on that here on the program. But once again, my friends, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join and chime into the Arrington Gavin Show. We are a very independent, unbiased platform. We continue to grow each and every step of the way, getting more syndicated. We actually have some offers to join some have our show aired on other stations. So we're truly honored, and we want to keep that momentum going, but we can't do it without you, the listeners and the viewers out there. So do me a favor, please do me a favor, tune in weeknights to the Arrington Gavin Show. There's multiple ways you can tune into the platform. If you prefer to watch us, you can on the streaming platforms of YouTube and Rumble. Okay, YouTube and Rumble. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show on those platforms. Excuse me. Also, you can listen to us wherever you listen to your podcasts, where any platform, iHeart, Spotify, Apple. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show and other all major podcast platforms. You can listen to us. Also on the radio airwaves, you can listen to us to our radio affiliate WDJY 99.1 FM straight talk Monday through Fridays at 11 p.m. as well as WDJYFM.com. So multiple ways you can tune into the program. Before we move forward, my friends, we always have to shout out some of our proud supporters, like Ingenious Gin. Ingenious Gin is a Black-owned, veteran-owned spirit that offers a unique spin of the original gin. This rose gold gin brings to you a unique taste, smooth, amazing on the rocks in a cocktail. Me being an avid bourbon and whiskey connoisseur, look, there's only one gin that I will ever enjoy or partaking in, that is Ingenious Gin. So for all you gin connoisseurs out there, man, look, I recommend you add this to your collection. Again, it's a veteran-owned, minority-owned spirit brand, so be sure to check go to your local ABC stores or spirit stores, grab yourself a bottle, or you can go online to www.ingeniousgin.com. You can shop from there as well. www.ingeniousgin.com. You have to be 21 and over in order to purchase. Also, here, if you're watching this clip, you can see I provided a 20% off discount code at the bottom of the screen if you're shopping online to their website. Be sure to drink responsibly, my friends. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have more of the Arrington Gavin Show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the show. Welcome back. Look, we got to get it going with our fun fact of the day. This fun fact is an interesting one I didn't know about, actually. Did you guys know that a dentist invented cotton candy? Let me repeat myself. A dentist, a person that is a professional doctor, physician that is an advocate for a healthy oral hygiene, dental hygiene. No, the whole stay away from candy because it's bad for your teeth. It causes cavities, this and that, the other. Guess what? He invented one of the most addicting sugary treats that's most likely bad for our teeth. He created cotton candy. It says here that the gentleman's name was William Morris, an American dentist, lawyer, author, and inventor. Is credited with inventing cotton candy in 1897. Whew. First of all, when you're a dentist and a lawyer, bro, you're extremely talented, man. That's a highly intelligent, educated dude right there. Can you imagine the schooling for dental school and law school? Like, only in the 1800s was that ever taking place. I'll be honest. They were built different back then. Look, we haven't done this in a while, so I'm excited to bring it back. Arrington's movie review. So recently, excuse me, guys. I think not I'm not catching a cold, but it's just with the weather change. It's like my throat is always I'm always trying to clear up my throat. Um, so recently, um, my wife and I we got to see Gladiators 2. Gladiators 2. It starred let's see some of the cast members. It starred Paul Mescal as Lucius. If y'all don't recall, the first installment of Gladiators was in 2000, like right at 2000. It starred uh Russell Crowe. Um, what's the gentleman's name? Is it Joaquin Phoenix? Yes, Joaquin Phoenix. He Russell Crowe was Maximus. Joaquin Phoenix was uh Commodus. Connie Nielsen was uh Lucilla. And it starred so many other great actors and actresses in that film. Gladiators was a popular film. It grossed let's see, their budget was in 2000, it was $103 million. You hear me? $103 million. It ended up grossing since then. Box office gross numbers was around $465 million, y'all. $465 million. So the newest installment, uh, Gladiators 2, it starred Paul Mescal as Lucius. Lucius was in the original. Well, him personally, Paul wasn't in the original one, but his character was. He was a little kid. He was the son of uh Lucilla, who brought back her character. In this time, you had Pedro Pascal, who was General Axius, I believe that's the name. And then guess who starred the villainous role in this film? The one and only, my boy, Denzel Washington. Boy, when I tell you Denzel played his ass off in this film, I I'm just you already know that Denzel, for those who tune into the show, y'all should know that Denzel is my all-time favorite actor. I've said this many times. Denzel turns a bad movie good because it's just his acting skills is so spot on and it's just so sharp. Like the guy's just he can act. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. His um his son is it John David, I believe. John David is a great actor as well. I mean his whole family is in film. His wife was an actress. um I know his kids are working on a film coming up soon. So it's really cool seeing it's really cool seeing let me see here. Having some technical difficulties over here. I'm trying to oh good gracious. um I was trying to show a graphic for you guys. um Again, Denzel, talented individual. Anyway, my wife and I went to go see the film. There's the two popular films that everybody's talking about to go see, and that's Wicked, the musical that stars Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. And then you have Gladiators 2. Let's be honest, everybody mainly wants to see this film because they're like, hey, look, Denzel for one is in it, but he's also playing a role that is a very unique role that he's never played really within in his career. Plus, I read something recently that this film was the highest grossing film of Denzel Washington's career. Do you hear me? Gladiators was the the largest grossing film in Denzel Washington's career. So we're talking like his career spans decades, okay? Decades. And if I can find the budget so far for this one, its budget was between 210 million to to 310 million dollars. Now, box office so far, it is 338 million dollars, $338.4 million to be exact. Um, the film has not been out not even a month, and it's grossing that money worldwide. And I mean, and well deserved because it was a great cast. Denzel, he's the guy that you'll love to hate in this film because he is um a very shady, backstabbing individual who is he feeds off of I guess he gets a rush off of being in charge, being the leader, being number one. He wants to be the ruler of the world. You hear me? That's what he gets off on is being the leader. Power is everything. Is no other greater thing than power, greed. And he is a stone cold killer in this film. Um again, you see Denzel in a role that you've never seen before. And I think that's what really I enjoyed seeing because there's been talks that Denzel most likely will be retiring very soon from acting. He's going to lead more. He's going to become more in the behind the scenes director role, but there's a few projects that he wants to do in front of the camera before he says, so long to being in front of the camera. And so this was one of those films. He, like I said, he played his tail off. It was great. It was long as hell. You know how I feel about long movies. This movie was approximately 148 minutes long. It was damn near 3 hours. And it was moments where I was like, ooh, I was dozing off from time to time in this film. And my wife was more engaged too. My wife actually had to do a bathroom break during the film. That's how long this film was. Okay. She's like, I gotta pee, but I'm gonna do it real quick. And it was just because that's how good it was. That's how good it was. And I'll be honest, I normally don't enjoy watching like ancient history films, ancient Rome and all that other stuff. Like I don't quite find it interesting like that. Like I'll be honest, the movie 300, yeah, it was action packed, it was gory, but I mean that's to me that's all that it had. It wasn't like I didn't care for like just the whole like synopsis of the film. Like it was just okay, it was action packed. Okay, that's all it had for me. That's the only thing that was catching my attention was the action. Now this film had a lot of great action too. It had a lot of great action. Um I want to kind of read you some of the let's see. Of course they had some harsh critics of the film. A lot of people have said it was a huge success. Every role that was played in there had met the quality that they expected. Things like that. Um, let's see. Some folks have said that this movie was a missed opportunity of history, far from reventing uh the original film. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, it's. I mean, some people gave gave some harsh criticism, but me personally, I will highly recommend to check out this film, guys. Um, I mean, again, hey, it's Denzel. Come on, how bad could a movie be if it has Denzel Washington in it? Like the man, greatest actor of all time. Let's just put it out there. He's one of the greatest actors of all time. Um, so hey, when you have a moment, when you have some free time in your schedule, go to the movies, go get tickets to see Gladiator 2. You will not be disappointed. All right. You will not be disappointed. All right, my friends. Look, let's go ahead and move it on to another conversation. I want to go back to talking about these pardons that we spoke about on the last show. So to kind of retrack when we first brought this to you guys' attention, President Joe Biden, who was getting ready to finish out his term, um, he recently had pardoned his son Hunter Biden. Uh, Hunter Biden was facing jail time. for I believe it was like some form of tax fraud, and I know the other ones were like having a weapon under the influence of drugs, right? It was that's kind of like the ballpark. I don't have my notes in front of me, but that's kind of close to what the man had did something he shouldn't have done that was illegal, and folks on the left, well, I won't say folks on the left, President Biden considered it to be like a political driven case because the left was going so hard on Trump and people around it, surrounding his circle, like Rudy Giuliani, like Paul Manafort, like Roger Stone, like Stephen Bannon, like Trump himself, Donald Trump. And so they're like, well, we gotta make an example out of the left now. Hunter Biden, he's a perfect, a perfect kind of guinea pig because he's already kind of like the troubled son. He gets in trouble with the law through, because he had his addiction with money and drugs and this and that and the other. And here's the thing. Yes, he had his addiction, but yes, he also broke the law. And so where I'm going with this, guys, is not everybody was happy on both sides. Obviously, on the right, they weren't too satisfied because they're hypocrites. They're like, "Oh, this is ridiculous. He pardoned his son and this and that and the other." Look, Trump would do the same thing. Y'all would do the same thing. Trump was pardoning his friends already, so give me a break. But people on the left was like, "What example are you putting out there that no one is above the law? That we're using the justice system as like a political tool to kind of if you're a nepo baby, then oh no, you can't you basically always have a easy way out. You can get away with anything without consequences and so on and so on. So uh long story short, I wanted to extend the conversation because a lot of folks were saying, okay, well, Joe, if you happen to be pardoning your son, who else you gonna pardon? Because there's so many folks, again, there's so many folks coming from the left is like, hold up, there's some other people that you should pardon. Like I think her name was Marilyn Mosby, attorney out of Maryland. A lot of civil rights activists and lawmakers urged President Biden to pardon her. Um I think Jesse Jackson Jr. He's a former congressman out of Illinois. I think he's looking to be pardoned. There's so many other people that are recommending, oh, hey, you should pardon this person, you should pardon that person. Now, recently, I was watching Chris Cuomo's show, Cuomo on News Nation. He has Stephen A. Smith, who's kind of like a regular guy that stops in from time to time. And Stephen A. Smith, as you know, popular sports journalist, and now a newer age political commentator. He has he hosts his top rated show First Take on ESPN, the debate sports show, but he also hosts his own podcast called the Stephen A. Smith Show. So on YouTube, it's killing it with the ratings and numbers and things like that. So he's now kind of like an outspoken. He's always been an outspoken guy, but now he's really like just getting his clickbait, if you know what I mean. So recently he was on Cuomo, and this is what he had to say in regards to if Joe Biden should pardon Donald Trump. Check this out.
If I were he, I would pardon Trump.
You know something? Honestly,
I would say
honestly,
this
as
has
crazy
gotta.
as Chris,
I'd pardon.
Chris, that's exactly what I would do. That's exactly what I would do. Enough's enough. You know what? You're the
Enough.
Democrats. You lost the election. You got your butt whipped. You couldn't prevent him from going back to the White House. More than a dozen cases have been dropped against him. The cases that have been ruled against him, he's going to appeal, and he'll probably get off from having to deal with all of that. It's time to move forward. You want to get at Trump? Sit back and judge what he does.
If I were he, I would pardon Trump.
You know something? Honestly.
So Chris Cuomo brought it up, and obviously Stephen A. Smith did not disagree. I'll honestly say this. I don't think President Biden should pardon Donald Trump. The reason because is once Donald Trump is in office, because he won the election, he will be the 47th president. That's already a fact. He has all the capabilities of pardoning himself. All right. So why continue to ruin your legacy? Because it's already he kind of put a dent in his legacy. I'm talking about Joe Biden now, when he recently just pardoned his son. Even though I know it's like, Arrington, well, that's his son. What do you expect? I get it. I understand. But at the end of the day, it's all about what message are you sending out? There's clips, there's public information that has shown President Joe Biden constantly saying he would not pardon his son. You had his press secretary speak on it many of times, and you also had Joe Biden said he was not going to pardon his son. And what does he does? He pardoned his son. Now, in my mind, that's Biden getting caught up in once again another lie, because let me not always, let me not remind you guys, this is the gentleman that said he was going to be a one-term president. What does he do? He turns around and runs for office for re-election. So I'm just saying, he gets caught up in so many of these lies, and it's just like, Joe, what is up, man? So that's where I enjoy. I'm a fan of Stephen A. Smith. Obviously, I don't always agree with a lot. I don't always agree with stuff he says. But I agree with him a good portion of the time. And in this case, I just don't see it. I don't think he should. I think it makes his loss against Trump even worse. But it's sweeter for Trump, obviously, because it's like, hey, look, I kicked your tail. Now you got to kiss the ring, my friend, and keep it moving. And that's going to be your last time. That's going to be your last big moment during your political career. Like, no, go out not doing that. But I do think he should look into pardoning other people. The Marilyn Mosby case, y'all should look up on that. She was an attorney. I think she was either a district attorney out of Maryland. And the case is interesting. I'll speak a little more on the next show, but it's interesting. It's almost a form of, how can I put it? The case is almost as relatable as Martha Stewart's case. I don't know if y'all remember how Martha Stewart had to serve time because she technically stole her own money, and she had to serve jail time. I think it's some similarities with that with Marilyn Mosby. Here's actually another soundbite I want to play for you guys. Now this is coming from the right. Clay Travis, he is the Outkick.com founder. He's also a Fox News contributor. He was recently on Jesse Waters' Primetime. He shared some thoughts on who Biden should pardon. Either him, or I think he was mentioning just in general who Trump should even pardon. So check this soundbite out, and we will meet on the other side.
Move fast, break things. Remember, perfection's the enemy of good. Right now, we got a lot broken in Washington. Good is a lot better than broken. I want Trump to hit the ground running. I want him to pardon all the January 6ers. Heck, we're in New York City. I would pardon Eric Adams.
Jan 6er, even the ones that were slugging cops.
Even those guys, Jesse, because if you compare the punishment they got for violent crime with what they're doing to other people in Washington, D.C., even those people have been punished excessively under the law. I would do a blanket pardon, every single one of them done. And I'd also pardon Mayor of New York City, Eric Adams.
All right.
Inaction is the
So Clay Travis, he's also a radio host. He's the co-host on the popular conservative talk radio show Clay and Buck. And Clay, he said some off the wall stuff. Now, he just said he should pardon all the January 6th Capitol attackers. Since when do you pardon attackers? Attackers break the law. Attackers are guilty. What had occurred on January 6th that we all witnessed was one of the most horrific sights in world history. People have their conspiracy theories over it. Once again, I always call BS on that, because if you're saying that they had an inside man in there and it was a setup, and the fact that somebody unlocked the door, well, guess what? They didn't unlock the windows that was broken. Okay, there's people smashing through the windows and going inside through the building through the windows like a freaking mad, rapid, insane folks. I can't even think of the words right now because I'm trying to hold my tongue. But for people to still consider the January 6th attackers innocent, to me, is laughable. They broke the law. They trespassed on government property. They vandalized government property, and they were chanting out death threats at the same time. Neither of them should be pardoned. They broke the law. They should serve the time that they was charged again. I wish it was more, in my opinion, but hey, that's just me. Now he mentioned Eric Adams. So Eric Adams has been kind of, he's been kind of in hot water just off of the fact that it looks like he's trying to buddy with Donald Trump, because now that he's the president, he's like, hey, Mr. President, I got this case held against me. You want to try and help a brother out? Hey, come on. Hey. And obviously he's not answering clear question because it's an ongoing investigation that he's currently going through, because he was on the View recently and wasn't answering questions thoroughly. And so Buck is saying he should pardon Eric Adams. I don't think he should. Here's the thing, y'all. If you do something illegal, if you break the law, guess what? You got to serve the consequences. You have to serve the consequences. I just get tired of seeing bullies get off. I get tired of seeing people break the law, get pardoned, and then they want to continue to tell their kids, this is what you shouldn't do. This is what you shouldn't do. I don't want to, my child to see this, because that can lead to something worse for them in the future the older they get. What message are we putting out there? Like, it blows my mind, y'all. But that's just me when it comes to all this pardon talk and whatnot. Let's see how we're looking with time. We're going to take a quick commercial break, my friends. Don't go anywhere. You're tuning into the Arrington Gavin Show. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at the Arrington Gavin Show, as well as on X. Look, don't go anywhere, my friends. We're going to come right back. We'll have more here on the Arrington Gavin Show.
Just like a winning team evolves throughout the season, so does your beard. I'm Arrington Gavin, proud CEO of Rugged Evolution Beard Care. With our premium oils, balms, and grooming tools, it's everything you need to level up your beard game. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a rookie, Rugged Evolution is the new smooth. Order now and dominate the beard game like never before. Rugged Evolution Beard Care, because every beard deserves to be legendary.
What up, fam? What up? Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm your guy, Arrington Gavin. As I mentioned before, we took a commercial break, where you can follow me on Instagram at the Arrington Gavin Show, as well as on X and Substack. So next up, this is some big news in the college world. So potentially, I can't even say that word. It's a strong possibility that former New England Patriots head football coach, Bill Belichick, could be heading to college football. The squad that he could possibly take over is head football coach of University of North Carolina. That's right, the Tar Heels, baby. Bill Belichick, he has been in conversations potentially being the next head coach for the Carolina for the UNC Tar Heels. Just to kind of give you a little background on Bill Belichick. Now, he's coached in the pros. He's coached in the NFL since 1975 all the way to 2023. Now, obviously, he had some of his most successful years under New England, where he was the head coach from 2000 all the way to 2003. He has 6 Super Bowl rings with them. He is a member of the New England Patriots All 2000s team, New England Patriots 50th anniversary team, New England Patriots All 2010s team, and also New England Patriots All Dynasty team. NFL records, most Super Bowl wins with 8 Super Bowl wins, okay? Most Super Bowl wins as a head coach, 6. Most Super Bowl appearances, 12. The man is a dog. These are all NFL records, by the way, I'm naming. Most playoff wins as a head coach, 31. Most Super Bowl appearances as a head coach, 9. Most playoff appearances as a head coach is tied for 19. And then most divisional championships as a head coach, 17. His overall head coaching record, 302 wins, with 165 losses. Postseason, he's 31-13. His full career is 333 and 178. Amazing career. Again, a true legend in the sport in NFL. Now, since he left, he finished coaching with the Patriots because they weren't the same Patriots team as people expected, right? Ever since Tom Brady left, they just weren't the same squad. So, and it started to show. Like, it started to show. You had a great coach that was losing a lot of games. You're like, come on, let's at least finish off when you're still on top. And he did. He ended up leaving. He parted ways with the squad. He wasn't fired. They mutually agreed to part ways. And he was doing some analyst work here and there. But this could be his way to get back into football. So this is reported by Sports Illustrated. It says here Belichick is expected to accept North Carolina job if he receives offer. Says here there's a real possibility for former New England Patriots coach Bill Belichick to join the college ranks. Says here that he recently interviewed with North Carolina for an open head coaching job and holds a genuine interest in leading a college football program. That was further confirmed by in a report by the Athletics Diana Russanini, and it quotes, he's one of several candidates for the job previously held by Mac Brown, and that talks are not for show. The interest is real, and if Belichick is offered the job, a source familiar with his thinking expects him to take it. Now, Bill Belichick is 72 years old, is only a handful of months younger than Brown, whom the Tar Heels fired in recent weeks after he won a program record of 113 games over two stints. But Belichick's interest in the college game stems from his surprising experience last year on the NFL coaching carousel, where he only interviewed with the Atlanta Falcons and finished runner up to Raheem Morris. Again, they look at it as Raheem Morris is uh, uh, a younger guy who really is trying to continue to build up and grow a career. You got Atlanta. I mean, come on, black excellence. You know, why not have a black guy lead your squad as a head coach? To have, I'm sorry, but have a old white guy to lead that squad. Don't get me wrong, he's a winning coach, which I mean, to me, I'm like, why didn't y'all try and get him? Because he is a winning coach. They're saying, look, you're 72. Raheem is probably in his 40s. I don't think he's even 50 yet. So again, let's see where he takes us. He has some fresher new ideas, can be more relatable to the squad. Let's go see how that looks. But that was the only possibility that the only team or organization that at the time had uh uh had spoken with Belichick. Now, obviously, there's some teams that could use a new head coach. Now, the only squad I can think of off the top of the dome is the New York Jets, but he has a long history with the Jets. He will most likely never go back to the Jets. The Jets they just need they have a whole lot of issues going on there. I doubted that Belichick will go to New York to coach them, but hey, it's nothing wrong with North Carolina. That sky blue uniform, man. I mean, it's great colors, great atmosphere. It's a historic a football program out there. I was a kid and I went to a football camp out at UNC and had a great time. I think this will be big. I think this will be big if this goes into play. If this is will eventually be a confirmation that he will be accepting a job coaching them. I think that would be huge for the university. It would be huge money generating for the season, because people would go to those games to say, hey, look, there's Coach Belichick right there. This is gonna be dope. So many high prospect players will want to go to UNC just because they're saying, hey, look, I'm being coached by one of the winningest, probably no, the winningest head football coach from the NFL. Now he's in college. I'm in. So I think it'll be good for the university. I think it'll be a smart strategy. It'll be smart on the school's side to bring him in. I know he won't be cheap. I can tell you that much. He might even they might even offer him probably one of the highest paid salaries for a college football coach. And it's interesting because I'm like, Bill, you're 72, you've won it all. Like, why still have a passion for it? Why would you even still pursue it? Aren't you having fun, being on TV and this and that and the other? Now, Belichick was never the talker when it came to the postseason. He was always very quiet. He dreaded talking to the press. But now, you're like, okay, well, maybe he should consider having a show. Nope, that won't work out. So what else is there to do now? I'm gonna tell you something. Belichick has been recently seen publicly with his new girlfriend. I don't know her name quite yet, but the first thing that caught my attention was like, I thought that was his granddaughter. Belichick is 72 years old. His girlfriend is, yes, 24 years old. Ugh. I'm sorry. I'm not for it. His girlfriend's name is Jordan Hudson, and she's 24 years old, and she's dating Bill Belichick. I don't know what Bill. Well, I guess I do know what Bill is offering the girl, but like, what do y'all talk about? What do y'all like? What do you? I mean, like 24-72. 24-72. And now they're really serious because they're going out to public events and red carpet events. And it's just, I don't know, man. It's just, it's just a little creepy to me. But hey, I ain't mad at you, Bill. I mean, hey, you pulling off, 24 years old at your age. Good for you, man. Good for you, brother. But I guarantee you that's why he he trying to get that coaching job. He's like, whew, this girl is expensive. I gotta get back to work. I gotta get back to work. Um, so yeah, I just want to toss that up there. Let me go ahead and move it on. Let's go ahead, my friends. Let's head back to politics. How are we looking? What time? All right. So this caught my attention recently that black Republicans feel left out of Trump's second term picks. And the reason why this brought my attention, because I've already kind of spoke about it before. Trump during one of his debates, I think that this time this was uh I couldn't remember if this was during the him and Kamala Harris I think it was maybe one of the debates with him and Kamala Harris. Trump had said they're taking our jobs, they're taking black jobs, Hispanic jobs, they're taking jobs. And so, everybody was saying, okay, after seeing these new picks, what about them black jobs, Trump? Now I don't see I don't see any black people on your cabinet. All those black conservatives and black GOP members who supported you, who literally, took huge heat for you, they wasn't offered a position. Now, the first person that comes to mind, and I mentioned before, was Tim Scott. Tim Scott made his announcement that he wanted to run for president. And here's the thing, guys. Here's how the game works. Majority of those candidates that you see that turns in paperwork to files their paperwork to run for president of the United States, majority of them knows that they don't have a chance in hell to win, but they want that's their audition tape. That's their their application to put in for a cabinet position at the White House. A lot of those cats, they know they're not going to win, but they at least want to say, okay, look, I'm in front of the camera. Once I end my campaign, then boom, I'll go on the campaign trail with you and continue to share why they should vote for you. Larry Elder's done it so many times. He ain't never get no job. Tim Scott did it. Tim Scott was one of the last few that ended his campaign. He went straight to Trump and said, we're going to continue to make America great again. He was just all buddy and just saying all the I love you, Mr. President. Guess what? He ain't offered nothing. Now, since then, there has been one person, I think his name is Scott Turner, who is a former football player. He worked in he's worked with different committees prior, but he was nominated by Trump to be Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, which really he's going to have his hand cut out. He's going to have his work cut out because affordable housing is one of the most important topics and issues happening right now. It's not just, cost, grocery prices and everything, cost and everything was expensive, but cost of living. So he has his work cut out. And it's almost like is the hood, is that like a black job? Is that, because previously you had Ben Carson, who Mr. Gifted Hands, was the Secretary of HUD in the first Trump administration. But Byron Donald, congressman out of Florida, I initially would assume him being in office or having a position under Trump. But here's the thing. DeSantis is finished once he ends his governor's once he finishes term as governor of Florida, because you only get to have two terms as governor. His terms are up now, And there's a lot of talks that Byron Donald is a Trump loyalist, and it will be an automatic win for Byron Donald if he receives the Trump endorsement. Byron will be possibly the first. I'm not sure the history with the state of Florida, but he would be definitely the first African American Republican elected as governor for the state of Florida, and it's an easy win for him. It'll be an easy win for him if he announces to run. And that's why Byron Donaldson didn't look so uh surprised when when Laura Coates had interviewed him on her show on CNN, saying, "Has Trump ever spoken to you about a position this and that?" He was like, "I haven't heard from anything. I haven't heard from the team or Mr. Trump at all about that." He played it off like, "Yeah, no, I have, it's not affecting me. It doesn't hurt my feelings." Like at first I'm like, I feel like he's really disappointed. I feel like he's hurt because he's like betrayed, and this is what everybody else was, telling him. But he probably knew something ahead of the game, saying, "Oh no, I'll be fine. I'm good. I got some big plans, for Florida." And also you got Marco Rubio, U.S. Senator, because Trump nominated him to be Secretary of State, and so there's two prominent positions in the state of Florida that will be up for grabs. So that's where I wasn't really worried about Byron Donald. But here's why, my friends, possibly Black Republicans feel left out of Trump's second term picks. So this is reported by ABC News, says here, as Donald Trump fills out his cabinet and chooses his closest advisors ahead of Inauguration Day, many African American leaders are asking why more Black people haven't been appointed to key positions. Now, ABC News spoke to more than a half dozen of longtime and new African American conservatives and Republicans within Trump's world, in and outside of Washington. Last month, the president-elect appointed Scott Turner, who was executive director of the White House Opportunity and Revitalization Council during Trump's first term, to serve as Secretary of the Department of Housing and Urban Development. Now, one area of frustration for many Black Republicans was speculations that if Trump did nominate an African American to his administration, it would be at HUD, and the department that has had the most Black secretary appointments of any. One Black Southern Republican told ABC News, "Why is every Black person given HUD?" Told you. Adding that it was the literal Black job of the administration. ABC reached out to Trump's transition team for comment on the selections, but did not get a reply. Of course, 6 African Americans have served as HUD secretaries, including Robert Weaver, who was the first. The appointment in 1966 by President Lyndon B. Johnson also made him the first African American appointed to a cabinet level position. The first African American woman to serve in the presidential cabinet presidential cabinet was Patricia Roberts Harris, who was the first African American woman, who was the first African American Health and Human Services Director and later HUD Secretary. She served under President Jimmy Carter. Former HUD Secretary Samuel Pierce was the only Black cabinet official in the Ronald Reagan administration. Ben Carson at HUD was Trump's sole Black cabinet member in his first term. Now, recently, mid-November, Carson posted that he was excited to speak with President Trump about how I would continue to advance the American First agenda, and I'm meeting with him in the near future. Now, he quoted, "However, contrary to reports, I will not be serving as the Surgeon General. The Departments of Treasury and Interior remain the only department that have never had a Black secretary." Now, another key position, Black conservatives believe needs to be filed by an African American is assistant to the president and senior level role within the White House. Trump previously appointed Omarosa Newman, a contestant of the Apprentice TV series, as the sole black assistant to the president. Says here that I do think if you're really talking about black influence inside the White House, does Trump want his only legacy of having the only AP for 2 terms be Omarosa? One black strategist recently asked. After Newman's departure, Jerron Smith served as a special assistant on legislative affairs before rising to deputy assistant to president for domestic policy. Ashley Bell, a prominent black Republican, served as White House advisor on entrepreneurship and regional regional administrator for the Small Business Administration. Bell's former boss is former SBA administrator Linda McMahon, who Trump announced as his pick for the Department of Education. McMahon is also co-chair of the Trump Vance transition team. So it looks like, guys, it looks like you're gonna fall up short. It looks like you guys are gonna fall up short. I don't know that. And another piece I'll mention before, because I'm looking at my time, the operative noted that black Republicans have made strides in leadership across the country. South Carolina U.S. Senator Tim Scott will chair the National Republican Senatorial Committee. Florida Congressman Representative Byron Donald is speculated as possible running for governor or U.S. Senate in Florida. And Winsome Sears, hey, in my home state of Virginia, Winsome Sears is seeking to become the first black female governor in the country in Virginia. So we will see, my friends. We will see. I would say that it's strides happening in the Republican party, where you see, people of color making leeway, or making headlines, and some huge growth, but still not enough. It's still, the Republican Party is still very slim when it comes to leadership roles for people of color. But the interesting thing is there's a lot of black Republicans that exist, and black conservatives. That's not odd. Now, obviously, you wouldn't expect that, seeing the most recent numbers in the presidential election, as far as like the amount of black people that voted, on the Republican ticket. But I think black conservatives and GOP members will continue to whine about it, and we told you so. I mean, I don't know what else you want me to say. We told you so. We told you that Trump was not. He was not going to be loyal. He's not loyal to anybody, for let's be honest, but he definitely wasn't going to be loyal to you guys. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. Y'all, look, we're running out of time, but be sure to tune in, continue to tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights, again available on streaming platforms of YouTube, Rumble, and as well as on all podcast platforms. You can also check us out on our radio affiliate, WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk, 11 p.m. Monday through Fridays, as well as WDJYFM.com. Y'all take care, my friends. God bless. Peace and blessings. Be sure to see that new movie, Gladiators 2. It was dope. I highly recommend it. All right. Peace. I'm out.